It's Fever 104 FM. Good evening. Thanks for tuning into the Superhero Show. My name is Sriram Sullia and this is Super Startup. We've started our campaign and we have our first Super Startup in the studios of Fever 104 FM. Have you noticed these little cute bikes in the city? They are blue in color. They have two variants of these bad boys, a battery operated bike and a basic bicycle as well. Bright blue, you can't miss these bikes. They go by the name Yulu. Yulu, Ride the Change, is our first company on Super Startup. One of the co-founders, CEO of Yulu, AMIT GUPTA, welcome and congratulations on your Super Startup.
Thank you, Sriram, for having us here.
Now, there are so many questions on my mind. Talk to me about Yulu and how it's connected to an app.
So to start with, Yulu is a service which one can use to go around in the city for short distances. And the way we thought of doing it, taking a vehicle from someone and waiting for someone to come to return it is not cool. Mm-hmm. So we thought of automating this whole thing. So we thought of using an app for that. So we created Yulu app using which you can pick up a vehicle, drop it, pay for that, everything using an app. So it's fully automated.
Completely automated, absolutely no need of human intervention to come and assist you with anything. And it seems to be working. So many people, and Bangalore being the IT capital, people get used to it. It's like breathing, I guess.
Yeah.
People are so accustomed to getting things on their cell phone, getting transportation on your cell phone. That's how it works. Talk to me about your revenue model. How exactly does Yulu make its money? Through subscriptions?
Yeah, so we offer both subscription packs as well as pay as you go. So in our case, a user has to upload some money in Yulu wallet. Mm-hmm. And once you do that, then you can open our vehicles from the app and you go. And we charge you on the basis of time. Okay. So if you use our Yulu cycle for half an hour, we charge you 10 rupees. Right. And same thing for our battery operated scooter charges. We charge 20 rupees for 10 minutes.
Yulu has been around for how long now?
So almost 15 months. We started in January 2018.
Right. And can we talk about the number of subscriptions you have, number of people who subscribe to Yulu on a regular basis?
Yeah. So we have got close to 1 million app downloads till date.
Wow.
And the good part is we actually got all of them without paying any marketing dollars.
That is fantastic.
Which is very counterintuitive from my INMOBI background. Uh-huh. We built the company on paid downloads and this is all free. This is the power of this service where everyone wants that service. And out of that number, we actually see a considerable number, close to 100,000 users now on a monthly basis. So we are supply constrained. We have only limited number of assets on the road. And that's where we kind of hit that ceiling. Right. And we believe that once we scale the number of vehicles in the city, for example, Bangalore should have close to 1 million users using Yulu service on a daily basis. So that is the kind of upside we're talking about.
Right. And you are prevalent here in Bangalore and any other parts of
India?
India?
Yeah, so we are live in 4 cities right now. So Bangalore is the largest market for us, constitute close to 60% of our business. And then we have also presence in Pune, in Mumbai and in Bhubaneswar.
Lovely.
And we are basically growing in all the big cities as per the plan.
Which just cries out loud about how people are looking for an alternative mode of transportation. People want to get from one place to another. Buses take you forever. Metro connectivity is a questionable mark. Taking your car out means you're stuck in traffic forever. This could be that snake line through which you can actually reach from one place to another in the quickest possible manner. Is that a pattern that you've noticed?
So that's a brand promise. As a company, although we are pro public transportation, we believe that if you have a metro service near to your home or your office, you should use that. And then Yulu can be used for the first or the last mile. But if you're lucky, you live like yourself, Old Airport to Indranagar, you can use Yulu. You don't have to worry about buses or the metro system.
Lovely. And I can choose between a bicycle or a battery operated vehicle.
Correct. So based on the distance and even the weather condition of that city, people have been using either electric scooter or the manual cycle.
How has it worked out so far? What's the 15 months been like? I'm sure lots of trial and errors, lots of learning for you.
So bunch of things actually got proven. When we started, as you know, it happens in India or everywhere that people think that you are crazy. So first of all, doing a startup is a craziness. And then you're doing, oh, you want to fix this mobility? Not going to happen. You're talking about two people on cycle, they will die. Where's the road? Look at these potholes. We we knew that we are chasing a big problem, and when you chase a big problem, I think the fascination for a problem is actually big, has to be very very big, and you need to be convinced about the problem, and then solution actually will take some time. In our case also, we understood the product market fit almost after 9 to 10 months, that this is how the service should be built. And good part was that we not only proved a lot of people wrong, that if you bring a better product, they will actually use. And it is okay for something to not exist in the past. And that's what our team basically believes. We kept on trying new things. We kept on changing the status quo, be it the policy, infrastructure, mindset, everything we basically started changing. And we are very happy that when we look at the numbers right now, they actually have got a critical mass in place. So we feel that now we just have to build it further. We don't have to look back.
In New York, they have jump services,
Yeah.
battery operated
San Francisco also,
scooters.
yeah.
San Francisco as well. There are segways that are out on rents. What made you, was that an inspiration? Was that a role model that was
Yeah.
built?
So that whole US based micro mobility, as we call it, as they started almost same time as Yulu. So we are industry peers. We started around the same time. But for me, there were two steps in my own journey for Yulu. First step was more about that. Hey, I have done well. INMOBI has been pretty good. But somewhere the whole feeling that there's something left in my own life book. What is that? And that process took almost 2 years, where I identify myself that, hey, there's a need for social impact, which probably is difficult for INMOBI because that requires we to create a foundation, and using VC money, one should not create a foundation. That's not a good idea. So I ended up decided to basically come out and figure out some problem statements. So looked at healthcare, education, water, pollution, traffic. And after looking at my own strength and what we can do, what I can do personally with whatever learning I have got in last 10 years, I decided to pick this traffic problem. And the tiebreaker, which I basically spoke about in the past, was I can actually get access to good healthcare and education because of my own financial ability. But can I get a better traffic or better air quality? Answer is no. So the moment I'm out from my home, I will be reminded of my vision that I need to basically work on that day in, day out. So that's where I picked up, and talking to other co-founders, potential co-founders, did not take a lot of time either. So in matter of 4 weeks, I had a co-founding team after I decided that I should do this.
That is fantastic. I think this is how we need to approach all our problems from today. Get the best creators in a room and let them take one problem each. Water problem can be solved by you, and traffic problem can be solved by Amit Gupta here. So that is one approach that I feel will work. And that's a great story. That's a great story about how you were doing so very well with INMOBI. I want to talk to you about your journey with INMOBI in just a little bit as well. Dedicating all your time and forces to Yulu as a way of sustainable transport can be quite daunting, and it's quite a challenge that you've taken up yourself. And I think this is how startups in today's world, companies in today's world, associate themselves with being problem solvers. It's not just about chasing that paper, but trying to do something for a better environment.
Yeah.
Is that how companies' foundations are built these days?
I think all of the good companies are built on a strong and difficult problem, and your own conviction and certainly your capability for sure. Then they drive you towards some solution. So as long as you are aware that you're gonna find all of these issues, hurdles along the way, and this is what is expected out of this journey, then things actually happen. And I've seen, look at our own country, there's so many startups which took actually 8 to 10 years for them to realize the potential of that business. Otherwise, everything just looked impossible. Who does that? It does not happen. And this is what I think entrepreneurship is all about.
I'm sure with Yulu, there have been cases of people stealing bikes. Has that happened? How do you deal with something like this?
So it's so funny. I would say that theft and vandalism are the critical part of our business. Just like default in the loan world, we basically have theft and vandalism. So we have to make sure that we take it to a level which does not hurt the business. And we have gone through our own learning cycle. So when we started the business in January 2018, our business model was like that you can pick up the vehicle from one place and leave it anywhere. And that's the time when our vehicles were exposed to all of these issues, where someone will take it to some remote corner, break it, and then make it personal. Keep it themselves. Because for us, only way for us to track the vehicle is through GPS. And after some research, those intelligent people were able to figure out that this is the problem child, just break it.
Right. And there's no human intervention.
Correct.
Anyone will come and say, ye kya kar diya tu?
Correct. At the same time, there was a lot of intelligence built where we actually had sensor information where someone is trying to hit the vehicle, we knew. And luckily, I don't know if you know, but cities like Bangalore, we have a lot of CCTV cameras installed in public places and private homes. So we have been able to get access to those footage and try to catch the guy. But whole thing changed for us when we moved our business model from drop it anywhere to drop it only at select Yulu zones. And these Yulu zones were created in front of the security cabin of a residential complex or within the tech park or next to the metro station where there's always a security guard. So the problem which people call about India, that people will just steal everything even for 10 rupees. Actually, there's an interesting part that while there's a problem, but because of our problem, we also have security guard in every place that matter, and they become our proxy to safeguard our asset. So now we actually don't have that problem anymore at a level which bothers us. It's actually very, very small number.
There have been a few companies that have tried out bike sharing. A company called Pedal was around. Zoom had tried it as well. Is it a logistical nightmare for you to have so many bikes spread across in different parts of India? How exactly do you deal with this challenge? What is the biggest challenge that you face running Yulu?
Sure. So first of all, I actually have high regards for Greg. He has built Zoom Car and he's a fabulous entrepreneur. And I remember when we were starting, they were also in the same boat and they were looking at pedal business along with the car business. And my suggestion to him was that they are two discrete businesses. You will run two companies under one umbrella and there's no synergy whatsoever. And I think later he realized that it is probably way too difficult for him to focus on car as well as cycle. And that's why they decided to temporarily shut it down. Although there's a plan to revive it at some point of time. And let's see. So for us, when we were running the business in the old model, it was a city model. And I'll tell you what do I mean by that. My cycles can move from this area to Jayanagar, to Hebal, to Penagatta Road, anywhere, because I was letting our customer do that. But the moment we said, no, we are not basically doing this, you have to pick and drop only in these confined areas. Then suddenly our business become a cluster-based business, where there's a small area of 25 kilometer square area run by a cluster manager who actually knows every nook and corner of that area, has full control, and he's responsible for P&L. And after we have moved to that model, our business has become much more scalable. Because now what I have to do, under the head of Bangalore, which is my city head, I just have to hire more and more cluster managers. And these cluster managers are equipped, they are capable to run a designated area. So we think that we have a better template for growth. I would still say that the problem is non-trivial because hiring these guys, grooming them for a new business model is not easy. So for us, people are actually one of the hurdles, and also it's a good problem to have because the industry is very new. So we are building it.
They are the ones facing the customers.
Correct.
The people and are the representatives of the brand.
Correct.
So it always becomes very critical and a problem point for you to get it just right. And that's where no matter how automated a company is, that human element always comes into play
True.
when running these.
And we see that it will happen in our business all the time, because ultimately there's a passion, and at what level you are excited about the company and you give your best. So if vehicles are not in great condition, my users who are using it, they will not be feeling excited about it. And there's a 80% to 90% journey, and then 91, 92, 93, the perfection curve is actually always very difficult. So someone has to be very determined, not at just our level where we are always excited about it, but the person on the ground, if he is not excited about the company, what he's doing is making a change in the country, that will never happen. And that's the reason one important interesting stuff for a long time in the beginning, they were all temporary employees. We basically made them part of Yulu now. So they are full-time employees with us, which has actually made a lot of difference in their motivation level.
You're no stranger to the world of startups. You are one of the co-founders for INMOBI, a very successful brand. INMOBI is India's first profitable internet unicorn. Are you still associated with INMOBI?
So certainly emotionally for sure. Operationally no. So as of October 2017, I came out because I cannot do justice to two startups, but it remains my first baby. So very close to my heart. It's success and failures. I share and everything. And then we hang out, the old crew, INMOBI crew, every month or 2 months we come together, we party together.
That's fantastic. You're not just a person who works on the startup scene as a creator, but you're also an angel investor. You have invested in companies across India and the US. What's that like to be on the other side of the spectrum?
So when INMOBI got started, there was nothing called angel investors in the country. In fact, we were the first investment for Mumbai Angel. And when we built this company, we realized that we need to create an ecosystem. So as a part of my own responsibility to give it back to the ecosystem, I thought, let me at least do this. So let me fund these entrepreneurs who are passionate about solving a problem, help them with advice and whatever network access we have collectively. So that was my reason for becoming an angel investor. And my thesis is very clear. I look at the spark and the passion conviction for the problem, and are you willing to give your next 5 to 10 years? If answer is yes, here's a check and go figure it out.
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
That's
Yeah,
the criteria.